Hey guys! So, those of you who have been with me for a while know that I like my animals. So, when I found out about conservation in Warframe, I was pretty excited. Not only do you get to hunt down the animals, but you can actually place little toy replicas of them in your ship as decorations. And you can also get some rep for catching them too. So, the first thing you need is a tranq rifle, which you can buy from the business in Fortuna for 500 Solaris United standing. You'll also need to buy a lure to actually bait the animal to come. Lures are permanent, so once you buy one, they will last forever. For 100 standing apiece, you can also purchase pheromone synthesizers for each type of critter. This will give you the chance for rare colors to show up. These synthesizers are not permanent, so you will have to use one each time. If you're just neutral with SU, you'll only be able to buy a Pobber lure. At Outworlder, you can buy a Mmogurl, and so on, as each new rank provides a new lure. Now, it's recommended to use a frame like Equinox that can sleep the animal with their night form. I don't have the frame yet, and so I just did it with my Saren. While I sometimes had some trouble getting little critters like pobbers if they smelled me, for the most part I was able to catch them no problem. So if you have that frame, go for it. Just know you don't absolutely need it. Now, to get started, make sure you equip your tranq rifle into a gear slot by adding it through your arsenal. Then head out to Orb Valis and equip your tranq rifle by pulling up the gear menu. Default key for this is Q. Check the map by holding in M and you'll see little blue paw prints. At default, it's going to show you all of the animals for all of the lures you have. If you want to see a specific lure type, hold down 2 by default and select the lure you'd like to track. Head on over to the mark closest to you and look for a pile of poop. It's right in the vicinity of the paw print on the minimap. Hit X to start tracking the animal, and then start following the prints. They'll be glowy blue, purple, depending on the surface. Just keep following them until you find the animal call point. Also notice that there are little icons at the top of your screen now. When you first clicked the poop, it started this series of events that leads to animal capture. The first step is to follow the tracks, and upon reaching the call point, you'll get a new goal, which is to call the animal with the echo lure. Consider when you find the call spot if there is a rock you can hide behind, or a body of water that the animal is unlikely to come from. People have said that you can hear which direction the animal is coming from when it calls back, but I'll be darned if I could ever tell where it was coming from. Maybe with headphones it's easier, but I rarely play with headphones. Just keep it in mind as you're getting ready to get this show rolling that you will need to hide so the animal doesn't see you and get spooked. They can also smell you sometimes if you're downwind of them, but it hasn't happened to me often. Now back to the echo lure. Trying to figure out exactly how this worked, even after looking up tutorials, was confusing to say the least. I think the major thing that all of them left out was that you have to hold down the call key, and then you can actually make the call. I sat here calling and whistling for a good 5 minutes by just clicking the mouse button before I finally figured out that you had to hold it down. After knowing this, the rest is pretty easy. Up until that point, though, it was like trying to solve a great mystery. So you'll want to hold down the left mouse button to call the animal. You'll soon hear it call back, and at this point a little indicator will show up on your meter. Now you have to mimic the call by holding down the left mouse button over the indicator and trying your best to follow it in the direction it goes. This doesn't have to be perfect so long as you're close. Not moving fast enough will not work though, as you can see I failed many times on my first attempts. After you successfully mimic the call, you'll move into the third stage, which is to locate and tranquilize the critter. Once you find a good spot to hide, you'll want to hit 1 to switch back to the tranq rifle. You can use the right mouse button to zoom in and get a better shot at the critter. You will be able to see the outline of the animal through obstacles, which is really nice if you're hiding behind something. Animals like verminks come in very slowly and are larger, making them an easy catch. Smaller animals like pobbers not only hop, making their movement irregular to target, but also are very tiny. If they don't smell you, they will usually just go to the call point and stop for a moment, which is the best time to try and shoot them. If they do smell you though, they usually hop all over the place, and it's a real pain to catch them. Thankfully, this game is pretty forgiving, and you'll get several shots on a critter before you lose the chance to catch it. In this example, you can see me missing over and over again, and I still somehow managed to get 2 of them. Once the animal is down, you'll move into the final stage of hunting where it will ask you to call for recovery. Run over to the animal and hit X to capture it. At this point, it will tell you what grade of animal you've caught. You can have a perfect, good, or bad capture. A perfect capture means it went off without any hitches. A good capture can mean the animal smelled you or saw you. Sometimes if you use an ability on the animal, this will happen too. A bad catch means the animal was hurt somehow, either by you or other enemies. Sometimes if it just took you too long to catch the darn thing. Catching each critter will reward Solaris United standing. A perfect sunny pauber catch will get you 400 standing, while a perfect white-breasted vermink will get you 600. You can get as much as 8,000 standing for a perfect rare Kuberdon. So this is a great way to rack up daily standing. You'll also get 2 tags from catching each critter. This is one of the best features of conservation, in my opinion at least. Catching enough critters to net you 5 tags will give you enough to buy a floof. Simply bring the tags to the business, the same guy you bought the lure from, and turn them in. These toys can be used to decorate your ship. There is a different stuffed toy for each species of critter, so there are 3 of each, meaning I'll have one extensive plushie collection by the time I'm done with this. I really enjoyed this activity and have to say it's right up my alley in terms of what I enjoy doing in a game. Even down to getting the stupid stuffed animals. The whole process is awesome, and I really hope they continue adding critters to the game, or perhaps more rewards for capturing animals. For now, it allows me to save resources like ore and servofish, since I don't have to turn them in for rep. And in the meantime, I'm still working on getting all of my floofs. I hope this guide helped you out. Get your Pokemon on and catch all the floof. See you guys later.